Welcome to the show, first of all, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being flexible with the timing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get right into it, man. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, you are recording right now?
Yeah, I'm recording right now.
Okay, amazing. Okay, let's begin. So nice to meet you, everyone. So my name is Julien Sicard, and I'm the CEO of Genius Encel. We are the leading LinkedIn marketing agency in the world, and we help Fortune 500 to generate new clients through LinkedIn. So that's mainly what I do. And on the other side, which is the community side, I built the community here in Shanghai called LinkedIn Local Shanghai. It's again like for people that love LinkedIn, and the idea is to meet people beyond the profile.
Very cool. So you run a LinkedIn local in Shanghai. How did that start, and how did you end up in Shanghai?
Oh yeah, so well, first the community was not initiated by me, but by my business partner. And regarding my it's more than 2 years right now for that community. And at the beginning, like 2 years ago, it was like 300 people only. And because I'm a growth hacker and I know, how to really breed and skyrocket pretty fast by using the different Chinese social media, and especially WeChat, we literally had an explosion of the growth of that community. And regarding why I came here in Shanghai, well, previously I was working at the French embassy in Beijing, and when I graduated, I was still missing, China. And at the time, I was developing my first startup, and that first startup was helping Chinese students to access to the best business school in France. We were helping them to apply to this best business school. And it's mainly because of that startup that I was like, okay, I cannot stay in Paris anymore. I'm gonna come back to China, and Shanghai, of course. It's economic and the economic city of China, and it's where you can find out literally all the main startup. And yeah, I think that was the obvious choice because regarding to the other cities, you can find out Beijing is more for politics. So yeah, for building a company, it was more logical to come back here in Shanghai. Yeah.
Okay. And so you said that you were missing China, you wanted to come back to it. So are you originally from China? Were you born here?
No. I'm French.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was actually born in China in Guangzhou, and I've lived in Shanghai for a couple of years.
Okay. Wow, great, amazing.
Yeah, so I was just wondering because I'm not Chinese, but I was still born there.
Yeah, you don't look like.
Yeah. So this LinkedIn local movement, what inspired you to sort of start this movement? Like, what was the motivation behind it? Why did you want to do it?
But I think there is mainly motivation. At the time, let's be honest, it's how we can create a community, something that could be authentic. Something you have to understand is like the case right now, because I think like we are not that much foreigner right now because of COVID-19. But at the time, there was a lack of authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, China, it's the city, the country of fake. You can find of any fake things. And that was kind of the same things about the communities here. And I was like, okay, so we got here a strong branding, the LinkedIn branding. It's already a movement that's spread all over the world. It was in more than 1,000 cities. And of course, naturally, because of the LinkedIn branding, it will filter and will recreate something more authentic. So we were like, okay, what is the goal, what is the main goal of a community, and we really try to define what is the goal when we do an event, what kind of value we really want to provide, because this is really the idea to connect the online and the offline. So first, on the online part, we want to encourage people to create content, because content, it's, and especially right now in 2020, it's so important to create your own content, because literally you are your own brand. And if you're not regular, if you don't create content, then it's hard. And this group, the people can share, their content, and can find a place where they would be supported by other people saying, okay, your content is great. And of course, they're going to receive the visibility. Everyone's going to like and comment each other's posts. So it begins to, like that, online, to create an awareness. And because of course, the month flies and you begin to be emotionally attached and know these people online locally, because, okay, we are all from Shanghai. You want to meet with these people. So yeah, that was really like the two main motivation, how we can support people that don't really know how to create content to have more confidence in themselves, because now we exist more online, right, Moin? I mean, like, it's hard to say that we exist. I think especially right now, we exist more online than offline, right? And so how we can give access, because of our expertise, in a free way to these people, to kind of support for that. And then the other part, it's create events where people can network, where it's authentic, and where we're gonna bring experts that's gonna bring true value to people. Not like this kind of fake shit presentation where, okay, you have all this theory concept. No, really practical advice. Because especially with the world that is changing right now, what people need, and especially from a community's support, to have practical advice they can apply in their life. And okay, let's giving an example, like how to become a B2B sales expert. That's concrete. How to convince people online. How to be more persuasive in a Zoom meeting. How to create content that's not suck anymore. And you take all these topics and you take different experts that in 10, 15 minutes only, they're going to reply in this very specific point. And that was really the idea when we were, regularly doing this monthly event. Is okay, take a moment, 1 hour, okay, where we bring free for experts. And after, okay, we give 1 hour for people to network, because I'm French and I believe that wine and good food can bring people together. So that was really the basic concept of this offline event. And it worked. So far, we were every time full, with an average between 80 to 120 people. And at some point, we had to refuse people because we were too much, literally. Yeah.
Nice. That's a great story, man. Yeah. You started it because you wanted people to be more authentic, and you wanted to help them create more content online and how to be more of an authority figure with whatever it is that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that. And so, so this is the LinkedIn Local is sort of something you do also on the side, but you also have another company, and I think you're wearing the jacket for it. Is it Genius Encel? Is that how it's pronounced?
That's correct. Correct.
So tell us a bit more about that.
Well, that's the same idea like the community, but it's for people that have money, right? So inspiration from the leather jacket, as you can see. And yeah, we are literally skyrocketing businesses. And here is the thing, social media is great, but the reality is, beyond the smoke and mirror, people don't know, even the biggest company and the big marketing department of, companies that literally making billions of dollars, they have literally no clue how to create content. They think the marketing in the old way. And well, that's why literally they pay us, because they don't know how to do it. And what we do exactly, my vision for the agency, and that's why we are like different of the other digital agency. I think the other digital agencies, they are pure liar, pretending that you can master all the social media platform. That's not true. Social media platform, their algorithm evolve every time. And what I believe, it's two things. First, the future generation, that people like me that anyway gonna take over that market, it's people that first are specialists of one social media only and don't pretend to know all the social media. Second, it's really like the CEO or co-founder of an agency need to be practitioner. When you leave a social media, you need to wake up with that social media in mind, to create content, to breathe that social media. And at Genius Encel is what we do with my employees and our team. We literally only do LinkedIn, and that's why it's working, because we know how the algorithm change. We know how to perform better for the content, and we optimize also the targeting and the right sequence of messages. So different goals for different clients, but to summarize, really the idea is really to bring them more B2B businesses. So we take over their accounts, we post content, massive content, because you need to do that anyway to create an awareness. Because before someone make a decision to buy a product or your service, you know that this basic rule in marketing, you need to see at least 7 times, you know, in advertising. So that's why you need content. Content is the gasoline on social media. You don't have that, you don't create awareness. And the content allows specifically people to get attracted into your profile. And your profile is not a CV on LinkedIn, it's a sales page. So we use and optimize this different profile of these employees to drive them into a specific funnel, and can be in different way. Recently, what we found out, it's really the webinar. So first you use LinkedIn, and after you track them into a webinar where you can educate the people and teach them why, okay, your product, your service is valuable. Because there is so much information and disinformation. It's to bring back that authenticity. Webinar is definitely one of the best way. And the other part, of course, of all that job is to grow the audience, to target the right connection, and to know really, okay, what are the people that have this specific problem of my clients, and how we can resolve that, and how we can make them aware of that by the right sequence of messages, right? So that's mainly what we do on the way we help our clients.
If there's something that you really want to do and you don't have a conversation about it with someone who's actually done it, it's going to be a very difficult path. And that's something that I've learned through my experiences, you know, of writing a best-selling book, of starting and failing at a business, of starting this podcast and learning how to interview and be interviewed on other podcasts. And so I want to tell you that I had help. I had a lot of help to get to where I am today. And I want to offer that back to you. Everything that I've learned through my experiences, hundreds of hours of personal development, and having something in mind and actually going out and doing it, I want to offer that back to you. So if there's something that you really want to do and you think I can help you out with that, reach out to me and book this 30-minute call. It's absolutely free. There's no commitment, and I'm not going to sell you anything here. All I'm doing is seeing if there's any way I can add as much value to your life as I can. So if you're interested in that, click that link and let's start talking about your dreams.
Okay, beautiful. I like that. And it sounds like that you're really passionate about what you do in this company. So were you always working in something that you were passionate about? You said you were previously working for the French embassy. Did you love working there? Why did you leave? And what were the challenges with starting a company? Because a lot of young entrepreneurs want to start companies, but they face a lot of challenges, and sometimes they stop.
Sure. You know, here's the thing, Moin. Majority of people are just manipulated by the society, and they don't make the choices that they need to do. Yeah, I was supposed, you know, to become a diplomat, but you know, I think people should ask them this question: what is the legacy I want to bring to humanity? And that's a deep one, you know. At the end of the day, we all eat, sleep. I mean, that's boring, but what you really want to bring before you're gonna die. And of course, work, it's an important part. If you only hire an employee for, okay, and it's not a critic about the employee, because you can work for a company that you are really passionate, but don't do that for money, please. And, you know, I guess my awareness was when I was living in the business district of Paris called La Défense. And every morning, you know, I was going to my incubator and I was like, okay, these people are literally like zombies. There is no sound. And I think it's sad. And I was like, okay, Julien, do you really think politics can change anything? And when you are inside the system, and I mean, it's any state, whatever, it's the French state or whatever, politics won't change anything. That's the simple truth. The only thing you can do is maybe become an entrepreneur and take a specific problem to, again, uh, make the life of people better or make the condition on earth better. And that's why it's important to have the long-term vision on what you do. First, I believe that the education system of my country was great, and I wanted to make it more accessible to the Chinese, right? That's why I created the services. So then, okay, John, one of your points, what was it, challenges? Yeah, fuck yeah, of course. When you are doing 1 year, you pretend to your friend, okay, I cannot go out because you are busy. Yeah, I was busy. I was working 70 hours a week, but also because you make to make enough money. People have no clue, but people see only the kind of surface of the success, right? It's not only an idea. And I can tell, I mean, my first startup, I was targeting students. I mean, students don't have money. I figured it out later, and I was like, okay, I need to find maybe another project. Passion is not enough. You need to find a compromise where that project and what you do, where you bring value, will again make enough money for your own survival. And that's stressful. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there is night I cry. I was in depression, and I was like, okay, what the fuck are you doing? And the rest of your friend is working for the French Parliament. You completely miss your life, and you know, you have the, I don't know, the doubt from the people you love around you. But again, it's all about the vision, and of course, it's like you do jogging at the beginning. You know, it's hard, and you need to educate your brain and accept this new reality that you are capable to make your own money and to really solve a certain problem. When I'm waking up, yeah, I'm passionate about what I'm doing because I think LinkedIn, it's a great platform. It changed my life. And actually, I met one of my former mentor who was the CEO of Hyundai. So talking about an impact and how, okay, social media can make an impact. Yeah, I was 22 years old and I met with the former CEO of Hyundai in Europe, and his support was, of course, like meaning a lot for me because I trust more in myself, and it was because of that platform. But every day when I'm waking up, I'm thinking more on that. I'm thinking that, okay, in the new reality that we are living in social distancing, what I'm doing is great. Maybe one of my clients that develops this new generation of waterproof screen will be integrated on the next generation of Apple or Samsung phone, which means like people who, I don't know, because of the rain, will have to change their phone, and okay, you need to reproduce a fund because okay, and there is no recycle, but indirectly is gonna create less frustration for the future mobile user, smartphone user, and also for us because you need to waste less resources. And on the second hand, I'm rebuilding a trust by showing to these biggest companies that LinkedIn can bring to multi-million dollars contract, meaning indirectly, my role is to save employment. So talking, okay, building your company can make more impact in politics, Moin? Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, like even building a digital agency can make more impact. Next stage in few years is going to, of course, that's why there is a jacket. That's my long-term vision, is going to bring the life to Mars. We need to have a second planet, but there's going to be for later when I will be a billionaire and have enough money that can Musk for doing that.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love the fire, I love the passion. And so you touched on a very important point there, is that when you started, your company's LinkedIn Local and Genius Encel, it was difficult, it was hard, and you had to pivot at different points. Like at one point, you realized that your main target was students, and they didn't have any money, and you wanted to make money, and so you had to pivot and go in a different direction. And at the same time, watching your friends and colleagues, you said walking to parliament and, moving on with it. It's hard, man. It's a hard life to be an entrepreneur. And I certainly did that with my job. I used to work at a bank, and, like you said, it was a very dead job for me. It's no critique, but it wasn't for me. It is for some people. It was very controlled, and, there was no life in it. And so I quit. And then, I started a business on Amazon. I wrote a book. I started a podcast, and I feel more happier and more fulfilled. And, like you said, if you want to leave, what do you want to leave for humanity when you go, right? Is it that, you work for a bank for an X amount of years, or you followed your own path and something you were passionate about and impacted people in a positive way? So I definitely love, the place that you're coming from. Very powerful. I like it.
Yeah, and I think again that's the thing, and directly if your intention are good and you keep your focus on this good intention and on the impact rather than the money. If you're driven by the money, it's not gonna work. I can guarantee that try it never work. So that's really the thing. Really being honest with yourself for why you are doing that. And not everyone can be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And everyone will be successful. And you know what? That's fine. I mean, for real, that's fine. What is important is to be fulfilled on what you do and really find what you really want to do. And I think that's difficult, right? I mean, like, we get so much influence by the society, by friends, by our own environment that, it's difficult.
Yeah, and then one of the important things that people also don't do, and you touched on it slightly, is you found a mentor through LinkedIn Local events, the former CEO of Hyundai. And I think that is very important. It's a form of support that you need, especially if you're going in a direction that not a lot of people that are going in that direction. And I think the culture right now is that when people who are even entrepreneurs, their main focus is doing everything on their own without a team or without a mentor, without a support. And I think it's not the best way to move forward. You can still do it, but it's going to take a lot more out of you. Instead, you have the option to have support and have a team, and all of them add fuel to the fire and blast off like a rocket.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, the business planner is the most difficult point, I would say. Mm-hmm. And you need to have someone that is really complementary, on you, on your character, in the idea of the execution. And of course, a business planner is everything. I mean, my business planner, I do a lot of things. I mean, like, seriously, we have almost 8 years of difference. She's from Silicon Valley, but it's more than that. When we are processing, we can work during 1 hour at 10 p.m. and process about the vision. Right. That's the kind of moment, you really think on that, or maybe it's gonna be a reading. So, I mean, even if you are in this moment of relaxing, you just keep thinking, okay, how are we gonna get it from that inspiration into our business, and how we can implement things from what we get inspired. So I think, everything is important. The truth is, working a lot is not true. You need to have this moment where, okay, you can take a step back Like for instance, your Kindle, get a good book, get disconnected, and get this moment, for yourself, um, and find a balance on everything. Get a good alimentation. I don't necessarily believe that you need right now to work like 70 hours. And for the mentorship, I think it comes really naturally. In a way, if you want to be mentor, it's not something that you can force. Some alliances, some partnership gonna work and other won't work that well. But again, what is important is to try out a maximum of kind of partnership or mentoring to find out, okay, what is the one that really brings a maximum of value. And I think again, finding the mentorship can be not necessarily with a physical person, but you can get that mentoring from people on the internet that can literally influence you. I mean, podcasts, that's a great way. And especially, yeah, I would think like people that can inspire me. Okay, when I'm getting lazy, okay, what Dan Pena would tell to me, or what Brian Ross would tell to me on the video I created. Brian Ross is one of the most famous podcast hosts actually that I follow. London Real, I don't know if you heard about him.
I haven't heard about him. I listen to Tony Robbins sometime, Gary Vaynerchuk, or
Gary Vaynerchuk. So that's the same thing, like
yeah, same thing.
If I had the possibility to right now, or Gary Vee is calling me, okay, your content is not ready, you should do this and that. I think like that's good. We can really find the inspiration, even if they are not talking to us directly, but by listening this podcast, we can really find a kind of mentoring. The mentoring is not necessarily by a physical person. Yeah, that's why
I agree. That's a great point you made. Like there's, you're talking about social media and so much content out there. You can find mentors online, and it doesn't have to be physically faced. It can even be in a book, right? Like you said, you read a Kindle, you find your mentor.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're gonna close our conversation soon. So I want to end with two questions. One is a message from your heart to the audience. Anyone who's trying to follow a passion, what do you have to say to them? And the second question I'll ask once you finish this one.
Okay, so we will remind the second question later, but the first point is always follow what you want to do, because at the end of the day, we all gonna die, and I don't want to be dramatic on that, but that's your own life, and you have the choice, and to miss out completely your life, it's gonna be your choice. And I mean, the day before you die, if you have regret, that's your problem, not the other people. So that's why I really follow what you really want to do. And you have to remember that everyone, including you, has a value to offer to this world. And never doubt yourself. Because of course, a lot of people would like to make you doubt of yourself. But I'm telling you right now, you have something to offer to this world. So be aware of that. And then, the journey won't be easy, but God's. With the pain, you feel alive. And it's not the result that is important, it's a process. And I think a lot of people forget about that. Enjoy the process on everything you do. It's an experimentation, and that's wonderful. Yeah.
I love it. That's a beautiful message. And I think you touched on something very important, enjoying the process, because when you're following a passion and following your heart, you're becoming someone different as to who you were when you were working for someone else or working a job that you hated. So just you following the process of what you really want, you're changing who you are. And that's the beautiful part. The second question is for you is that where can people find you? How can they connect with you if they want to get in touch?
Yeah, sure. So you can find me principally on LinkedIn. So you type my name, Julien Sicard. And if you want more resources, well, our website, Genius Encel agency, but we have already a cool blog and it's hundreds of articles with all the tips I know when it's free, people are lazy, and I'm not here like for selling you a program at 1,000 USD. There is no secret in social media. Don't believe the guru. I'm telling you, it's all about the practice. And check it out, this blog. We spend a lot of time actually on that. And all the answers are in there actually. If you want to know how really you can generate clients on LinkedIn, how to have more persuasive messages, check it out. It's free, blog.geniusencel.agency, and enjoy the content.
Thank you, Julien. I'll include your links in the show notes so people can access your website easily on your blog. Thank you so much for being on here and adding so much value and sharing your story. Really appreciate it, and all the best to you and your company in the future.
Thank you, Moin, and we keep in touch definitely.
100%. Take care. Good night.